Yeah. So hello everyone. Today we have a very special guest on our channel. We have Soumit. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Soumit Saha. I am from West Bengal, Calcutta. I am currently working as a software developer in backend in CRED. So I'm also working as a part-time lead code tester. So we
Mm-hmm.
test contest problem in there and produce feedbacks. I have in the past I am just a year-old graduate.
Mm-hmm.
So in the past I have worked I have participated in ACM, ICPC or
Mm-hmm.
competitive programming
Nice.
contests.
Yeah.
So that was a brief introduction of for me.
Okay. So he's here to talk about his interview experience at CRED. So Soumit, tell us about your interview experience, the rounds, the problems, everything in details.
So I'll just start back from a short like how I got this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the HR who like the recruiter who herself like posted in LinkedIn. I was since I was doing computer programming in my
Yeah.
college days, right? So I was kind of had a knack key like because previously I used to work nine like although my roles were full stack, but
Mm-hmm.
I used to work a lot in front end.
Yeah.
So I wanted a total exposure in backend. That was my mindset. And when I saw that
Mm-hmm.
like opportunity, I have heard some kind like, yeah, that's great. Like it's some kind of a big company.
Yeah. Good company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I got this. Okay, let's try myself. And
Mm-hmm.
I like asked her in the message like, blah blah blah, ship, and all this
Mm-hmm.
stuffs. I just shared my resume and she shared her like OA assessment link
Yeah.
by the next day only by one day. I like there was three questions, I guess. Three questions, I think
Mm-hmm.
2 hours. No, three questions, 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like that one question was very easy. It
Mm-hmm.
was kind of a like if you have a hand in computer programming, it's like
Yeah.
very easy.
Yes.
There was a string and you have to do something on that string. The second problem was some kind of like tough, but it was not that much. It
Mm-hmm.
was a standard or like an I will say a very standard or not standard I will say, but
Mm-hmm.
it was a question on trees. This thing trees diameter on trees
Okay. Yeah.
plus some kind of DP they needed on that.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the second question. Third question was I think totally a dynamic programming
Yeah.
question plus combinatorics wala thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the three questions that I had. I just solved. I got some kind of stuck in I will say question number two
Mm-hmm.
because at that moment of time I'd never had a good hand on diameter, but I somehow managed it, like tested it out and like
Mm-hmm.
तो like I debug में थोड़ा time चला गया था,
Hmm.
but I somehow managed it and like I was able to solve those three questions by a hour or more.
So before we start with the rest of the video, let me tell you about this amazing platform called Cryo. So Cryo is a website where you can learn new skills and get your dream placement. So they have placement courses, they have a course on full stack development, and they have a course on backend development, and they have the best content that is out there. So they have a course of fellowship program in software development where they teach you software development skills in either backend development or full stack development. So if you are someone who's working in a company and you want to upscale yourself, you want to join a better company, or you want to join a FANG company, a higher paying company, then you can take this course. And they also have a free trial, which is the best thing. So even if you're not sure about the content of this course, you can book your free trial and you can see for yourself the content that they have. And not only they teach you about full stack and backend development, they also teach you data structures and algorithm and interview focused system design content. They also have that. So they have everything that you need in order to crack your dream company. And you can also check their placement statistics. They have general placement of around 6 to 15 LPA, and some people even get a placement of 15 to 40 LPA. And apart from that, they also have a separate full stack web development course and a backend web development course where you'll be working on real time live projects with working professionals. So it'll be just like working in a company. You'll gain some real life experience by working with these professionals, and you'll be able to add these projects to your resume and build your portfolio. So you can definitely check these courses out. And if you are someone who wants a good placement, who wants to join a good company, then this is something that I would definitely recommend. So go click the link in the description and book your free trial now. Yeah.
and I got the second like round calling.
Mm-hmm.
So HR called me and told me like, so and so, like Shomit, let's move for the
Next
rounds.
round. Yeah.
All, yeah. So all will be like interviews. Like there will be three interviews.
Mm-hmm.
She shared the entire like doc kind of thing,
Yeah.
where it was a kind of syllabus kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was by a week, and all those three rounds will be in one day because they were in
Oh.
a hiring kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were hiring some kind of much people, so they thought to do it, all those in one day.
Yeah.
And I got this opportunity. Like I think I got the opportunity for 1 week to prepare for myself, and the toughest thing that I will say that
Mm-hmm.
was there in the CRED interviews was this thing called system design. So like
Okay. Yeah.
because I when I like went to the docs, it had like a kind of this. They will ask you LLD, they will ask
Hmm.
you HLD, and they will ask you competitive programming, like
Oh.
DSA algo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yes.
DSL go, I was like okay with myself, like
Hmm.
okay, I can
Because
pull
of
it up.
competitive programming, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I
Hmm.
was like okay with myself ki I can pull it up, but this thing like LLD and HLD, I will
Hmm.
say I had like not much kind of background. So I think I got 9 days, and within those 9 days,
Hmm.
I like practiced a lot of LLD and HLD problem, like basically system design in total.
Mm-hmm.
And the first round was totally based on a LLD round. It
Mm-hmm.
was totally a LLD round. It was
Mm-hmm.
basically they will like 2.5 hours round, totally based on LLD.
Yeah.
And I was okay to do it because with LLD there was also DSA that was required
Hmm.
to like implement it.
Yeah.
So I solved it perfectly, and the interviewer was very happy because of
Hmm.
my code modularity, and he
Yeah.
gave me good comments also. I walked myself to the next round, which
Hmm.
was totally a DSA round.
Hmm.
So normally what happens is I heard for SDA2 this round, or like some kind of experience guys, this round is totally a HLD round.
Hmm.
But I think I was a kind of fresher,
That's why. Yeah.
so
Hmm.
they asked me totally on DSA, and I was like okay with the rounds. Although the questions were, I will say, the interview started with easy ones, but then
Hmm.
he rapidly moved to probability with trees. So
Oh.
like he like kept on like increasing the level by steadily. The interview was friendly, honestly,
Hmm.
and I got myself clearing that round, and I moved to, and it was totally a hectic day because I think
Yeah.
first round was 2.5 hours,
Hmm.
then 2 hours I got gap, then another round was nearly one and a
Hmm.
half hour, and then the managerial round was there. The third round was basically a managerial round
Mm-hmm.
where my manager basically asked me questions on my behavior, or like there was
Hmm.
behavioral questions or some kind of HLD questions,
Yeah.
basic system design, or my previous project questions. So that was anything I can tell. You can ask me like.
So, what were the resources that you used for system design preparation? Because, like you said, it was completely new to you, mostly.
Sure, sure, sure. So yeah, it was totally a challenging one. I will say I just went out to YouTube.
Hmm.
Started with YouTube. For my mind, this was this thing. I have 9 days. I
Yeah.
will like I think I had around 200 hours or something. I
Hmm.
will put out the entire 200 hours for YouTube videos, and my
Hmm.
thinking was on that pattern.
Yeah.
So I went down to YouTube. I like went through as many resources I can. I think
Hmm.
there was this thing JKCS, and
Gaurav Sen.
God of Sin.
Yeah.
So, although I will say not people not to, I won't tell it publicly, but I will say don't try out God of Sin if you don't have basic knowledge, because God
Hmm.
of Sin, like I will say, he doesn't he gives you a very good understanding from the medium to very
Advanced level. Hmm.
advanced level. So for the intermediate, I was very kind of tense
New.
to
Hmm.
what to do for the beginners level.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
for the beginners level, I tried out videos. One thing I also did was when Gaurav was teaching something. So what I was doing was, suppose he told me shards.
Yeah.
So suppose he was making a design of Netflix, and he to use this word shards. So what I
Yeah.
did was I went to Google or I went to YouTube, and made myself very much clearer with the shards wala part.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this was the, yeah, it was hectic for now my me
Hmm.
for the 9 days, but I got, I think, somehow clearing my HLD rounds because there was not much questions.
Hmm.
Might be if there were questions of SG2 type level, I
Yeah.
would have failed because I've heard of SG2 questions in CRED, and those you require queues, message brokers, you
Hmm.
require all these stuffs. So I got, I will say, myself. my base
Hmm.
active with JKCS, and there were
Yeah.
some more playlists. I don't remember them exactly. If you want, I can share them.
Definitely. Yeah.
So those were my resources. Like I give myself a full like 9 days. I made myself mad.
Hmm.
So I think if people work hard, they can do it, no matter
Definitely. You
whatever.
need to be dedicated towards, right? Because taking
Yeah,
so much of knowledge in 9 days is a huge feat, right? Especially for
yeah,
someone who has never dealt with. Because as competitive programmer, DSA and all is a little different. System design is on a
yeah, yeah,
different
yeah, yeah.
side, right?
So if you give your heart out, like if you want something, if you give your heart out, I think everything will. You might like I think I got it success in one start. Like I will say, you might get 10 to 12 failures, but
Hmm.
it is okay.
Yeah.
I will say a bit lucky on this term. Also, I was a beginner, so I didn't got those type of hard questions.
Hmm.
But if you give yourself 9 days won't work, but 9 months work.
Definitely.
So this thing will help you out. I will say.
Yes. So CRED is like a dream company for a lot of people. A lot of people want to join CRED because of the high CTC and the perks that they offer. So what advice would you give to people who want to join CRED as a backend developer? Like how can they crack like you did?
So I will say like don't focus on a particular company never.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
prime reason is you give you I will say to give yourself heart out towards the knowledge that you are gaining to the subject. So
True.
what you will happen is like okay, I believe like you can like target out sub companies like okay, I want this type of
Hmm.
companies, and I can like understand what pattern of questions they're
Yeah.
asking,
Ask.
what, because they will definitely ask you hard questions, and that
Hmm.
is a good thing too. Like whenever they will you need a tough challenge, you can take up the challenge and work on it. So I will say like you can definitely use up this as a motivation.
Hmm.
And one thing I think the question you asked is how to get themselves prepared, right?
Yes.
So one thing I will say is for anybody who is coming to college, this 4 years is very
Hmm.
important. Use these
True.
4 years very and
Seriously.
because and also seeing the current market conditions, you
Yeah.
need to make yourself towards a position where the company has no option. But
Hmm.
if they want somebody, you should be the person
They
in
hire.
their eyes.
Yeah.
So I will say I have heard a lot of this controversy of whether you should do competitive programming or you should
Whether you
develop.
develop.
So
Yeah.
this, but I will say, do both,
Do
because
both.
do both. Do give your heart out, because I have I will not I will not say I have done a lot of open source, but
Hmm.
in my time I did do open source.
Yeah.
I think I contributed to repositories, and you
Hmm.
should also do try your hand out in everywhere. You should try your hand out in competitive programming, because
Hmm.
this will give you a knowledge in maths, a knowledge in data structure algorithm, and knowledge in coding. Try
Hmm.
out open source, because this will make you the attitude to debug, to
Yeah.
read amount of codes, because when you do open source you read a lot of amount of codes.
Hmm.
So this will give you a lot of open source background. I will say give your 100% out,
Hmm.
work hard. You can definitely try out, like you will be in the best position you can.
Hmm. Okay, so I think that covers pretty much everything about cracking a company like CRED. So thanks a lot, Somit, for coming on my channel and sharing your journey with me and my subscribers. I hope it will help a lot of students. So thank you.
No problem, anytime, man.